Hello, my name is Brittany D. I am a psychic medium and spiritual teacher. My divine purpose is to assist in the expansion of the collective consciousness and to help you become more connected with the divine. This is a space to remember all that you truly are and ignite the possibilities of your highest potential. Hello, hello, hello. I am so grateful to have you here with me in this present now moment. Today, I want to talk about our intuition. What is our intuition and what is happening whenever I'm getting these pulls? What the heck is this? Well, your intuition is your psychic sense. It is your higher guidance, your higher self, source, your spirit guides, angels, any higher consciousness, higher guidance that is trying to guide you or pull you a specific way. Now, the reason why intuition is usually associated with that gut feeling is because the solar plexus is where you receive this psychic intel. And so you do receive message and pulls through the heart chakra, but that is more associated with your spirituality, where your solar plexus is receiving psychic intel. And so there's all different ways to receive information and messages, like clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. There's clairaudient, clear hearing, clairsentient, which is clear feeling, claircognizance, which is clear knowing. And there's even more than our five senses. There's clairvalence, which is clear smelling, clairgustance, which is clear tasting, clairtingency, which is clear touching. There's like such an array. There's such an expansive amount of psychic senses that we have. It is not limited to our five senses in the human experience. And so having spiritual awareness of what you're being pulled to and what you are receiving is so important, because this is what leads you. This is how you are guided to your highest and best path, to your highest potential. It is through your intuition, which is your sacred self, your higher self, trying to communicate with you. And there's also spirit guides and angels, ascended masters that are communicating with you. You actually have a whole team of spirit guides that it's actually broken down into 3 different teams. And then you also have a master teacher that are all your spirit guides helping you and guiding you their entire life. Just like you have your life, their entire life is revolved around you and you completing your soul contract in this lifetime and completing all of the things that you came here to learn. Their whole entire life revolves around you. And so we are always supported. We are always protected. We always have guidance at our fingertips. It's just a matter of asking for it and knowing it and trusting it. Trusting it, right? That's the hardest part. They can put it in your face all day, but then if you don't trust it and you don't follow it, then you end up in those places where you're like, oh shit, I probably should have followed that. Probably should have listened to them. Oops. And a lot of time people ask if your loved ones are people that are also guiding you and showing you these signs and these signals. And they it very well could be. Sometimes they'll even swap out and become a spirit guide. And one of your other spirit guides that was there before they passed will step out and they'll step in. And there's really like a whole system to this stuff, guys. It's very interesting. But your intuition, those pulls are what gets you to the next level version of yourself and the next level version of yourself. And then soon miracles and bliss and like mind blowing experiences that you're like, what? I didn't even know this was possible in this life. And we all have our intuition built into us. Every single one of us has that deep down innate knowing whenever we are pulled or guided towards something. And it's just a matter of actually gaining the skills to practice it and to develop it. So that way we are moving with our intuition and our guidance instead of the fear and the questioning and the doubting and all of that stuff. It's there. You're no longer doing the whole mind all over the place and overthinking and everything is, you're just like constantly unsure. It's when you align with your intuition, you are moving with a trust and a faith and a confidence that it's just felt. It's just known because you know. So it's known and reflected outward. And so I actually, I have been developing my intuition for a very, very long time. But I would say probably one of the biggest leaps was whenever I sold all of my belongings, gave my $6,000 Santa Fe, like my car. I had an SUV and it was bomb and I loved it. And I just gave it away to a family member, but still. And I sold all of my belongings and took off into the world. And all that I could carry, all that I could take was what could fit in my backpack. And I literally got dropped off in the middle of Red River Gorge at a pizza place called Miguel's. And it became one of the most epic adventures of my life. But at the time, I really and truly did not understand why I had to do this. Like, everyone in my life was like, what are you doing? Like, I was in college, restaurant job, doing the whole matrix programming. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm killing it. And then I went through an awakening and I was like, I just knew. Like, everyone was asking me. I'm like, I don't know. I just know this is what I need to do. And that started that journey of living on the road for 5 years is really where I got my skills developed, with my intuition, because it was literally survival. Like, are we going to, you meet someone out at a restaurant or a bar when you're traveling and they're like, yeah, dude, you should totally come back to our place. Like, we got this, we got that. Like, and it's like, okay, well, we could either, go sleep in the tent or we could go like chill at these people's house and maybe even catch a shower. But, it was every single moment, every step of the way, you had to tune in and check in. Is this safe? Is this not safe? Should I go there? Should I not go there? And you really had to trust it. And I'll tell you, whenever I didn't trust it, ooh, my mighty, did I end up in some weird situations. Seriously though. And so from then on out is basically whenever I really started trusting the universe. I really started trusting higher guidance. I really started developing, tuning into myself and my gut feeling and how do I actually feel about this? Not what, cause someone like, let's say it was some guy or something and like they were super pressing and trying to convince me. And instead of just caving in, I would have to be like, no, this is my knowing. I know that I'm supposed to go there, or I know that I'm not supposed to go there, whatever it may be. And I had to stand by that because everyone else I maybe most likely had just met, and I don't really know any of you guys. So I gotta go with my knowing, with my intuition, what my higher self says. And so I developed this over years, and it was a beautiful journey. And even now, like, I had a situation last January around, and I started talking to this guy, and we went to this kirtan event here in town. And whenever I got to the event, one of my really good friends, like soul sisters, she looked at me with these bug eyes and she like pulled me over to the side and she was like, dude, what are you doing with him? Da, 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 this and that. And I'm like, listen, I don't know, like, whatever your experience was, like that, whatever, like, I trust that you're just trying to have my back right now. But please know that, like, I'm getting all of the signs, signals, all of the knowing, all of the communication, all of the messages. Like, I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I even said to her, because I had a knowing deep down that it was just for healing. Like, I wasn't going to marry this guy. And I said to her in that moment, I was like, even if it's just for healing, whatever, it doesn't matter. I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And, you know, she just kind of had to like back off because she's like, okay, like she knows her path. No one else knows your path but you. And I really and truly have such a deep amount of faith and trust in my intuition because I've spent so much time developing this skill and really honing in on how this skill is developed. And like another kind of funny story was just recently, it was this last August. I had this situation where this roommate that I was living with at the time, you know, shit went down and we needed the water heater replaced. Like, we literally didn't have water. We were going without water, living downtown Louisville, like in a city, and we didn't have any water. And I was not expecting to move. I had a trip planned 2 weeks out from that, a bachelorette party. And I was like, dude, I have to literally move, which means, because there was a situation where he couldn't replace the water heater, just to be clear. But I literally have to move out of nowhere, which means deposit. That means first month rent. That means, you know, whatever belongings that I need for a place. And I was like, oh my God. And I have this vacation. Like, I'm supposed to move my whole life, put down a deposit and pay rent and go on a 5-day vacation all in the same month. Like, not really, like the vacation was planned, but nothing else was expected. And I was like, oh my Lanta. And so I really had to like chalk in. I'm like, what does the universe want me to do? And so I knew that I needed to move. I knew that was the best call. And so I did that. And then whenever I was getting ready, for the weekend, I kept doubting. And I was like, I don't know. I'm looking at my bank account. I'm looking at like, I need to work and I'm taking off work and, you know, and I was like, so I messaged her and I was like, I don't know if I can go. And this is like one of my really good friends' bachelorette parties. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can go. And I felt really bad, but I just needed to let her know where I was at. I was like, listen, I had this whole situation where I had to move and like, I don't know about it. But I knew like deep down, I knew that like I was going to be there, but there was just this overwhelming amount of doubt because of the situation. It was just an overwhelming situation. And so, then I got the intuitive pull, the guidance, to that I needed to go. Like that was me just communicating to her. So that way she knew where I was at. And then I was like, okay, I need to get the guidance, like tune in, ask for help. And I got the confirmation that I need to go. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like moving all. Oh, that was the other thing. My flight got canceled because of a hurricane. My flight got canceled. I'm like, oh my God. So now I have to like book another flight. They're going to like refund me, but it's going to take 14 business days or something. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And so anyways, then that's whenever I tuned in again and they were like, no, you still need to go. And I was like, okay, I guess I need to drive my car. So then I was like trying to get my tires rotated and like all this stuff. And then on my way home from getting all my tires rotated, I freaking smashed the side of my car. Like my whole door panel down the right side of my passenger door was like completely smashed. And I was like, I just sat in the parking lot and I cried. And I was like, why do you keep telling me? Do I keep feeling like I need to go? But then like, this is really confusing. Like, can we get a little bit clearer? Because this is really confusing. And so I go inside and I pulled a couple cards and it was total confirmation that I needed to go. And I'm like, oh my God, I know that I need to go, but this is really confusing because it feels like you are literally putting everything up against me. And then I packed my old car, I packed everything, and then I laid down for bed. And we were leaving at like the ass crack of dawn, like, because it's a long drive. So we were leaving at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And so I packed all my stuff and I set my alarm. And my alarm said that the alarm was going to go off in 4 hours and 44 minutes. Angel number 444 means you are on the right path. That's literally what it means. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, the doubting has got to go out the window. We got to let it go. And just going on that trip, it was such a game changer for me. I had been working way too hard. Like I wasn't taking weekends off. I wasn't taking time for myself. Like I was just working like a freaking, I don't even know, like literally way too much. And I had the best weekend with some of my freaking high school girlfriends that mean the world to me. And I was just so liberated and so free. I felt like young again because they're like my young high school girlfriends. And like we were all like doing like a spring break again almost. It felt like it was amazing. And then after that, I actually I decided, since I was driving myself, I was like, I'm just going to spend like a few days floating around and just letting the universe guide me. And so I stayed for 4 extra days. And the following day after the bachelorette weekend, I went to this cafe to get like a little vegan snack and like a kombucha or tea or something like that. And I found one of the coolest little freaking communities, dude. Like in the middle of like Panama City Beach, it's like a party town. And there's this little community of people that are just like drumming and like doing shakers and dancing and being free and singing. And like we were hooping and pulling. And I was literally in that moment, I was like, holy, I cannot believe that this is life right now. Like, and my soul needed it so bad, like so bad. And even after that, like going to visit my cousin, like that was so divine. And all of it was just so divine. It was everything that my soul needed. Oh my gosh. And it really just boiled down to like, I trusted so deeply because I know that path that I'm being guided to, that I'm being pulled to, it might not make sense. It might be confusing. It might not seem like, oh, I don't really know about that. That looks a little dark. It looks a little prickly over there. But I'm telling you, if your intuition, if your guidance, if your knowing, your pulls are pulling you that way deep down and you know it, that is going to be the absolute highest and best for your soul's eternal evolution every single time. Whether it's for healing, whether it's for growing or learning or fucking bliss and magic, it doesn't matter. It is always highest and best for your eternal soul's evolution. And so this is something that I am very skilled in. I have become very good at listening to my intuition. Like my partner who I was with at the time when that thing happened when I smashed my car and everything, like I was literally sitting at the table right after I pulled those cards and I was like, I have to go. I know I have to go. And he just looked at me and he was like, dude, your trust is mind blowing. Because most people don't most people don't trust. They really don't. They question it and they doubt it and they let their fear overtake them. And I've trained and developed my intuition to know that route is always better. Even if it doesn't look like it right now, I know. And that's what I'm going to trust above all of these fears and doubts and questioning and overthinking and all these other, no. If it's a clear knowing, if I know it deep down, that's where I'm going. And so I'm really super pumped to share with you guys that I have my intuition development course. It is officially launched open cart. Go sign up now. I am so excited for this. This is going to be such a sacred portal for you to transform into true connection with your higher guidance and your higher self, and that trusting and that knowing and not doubting it anymore. Letting the doubts and the fears, I'm not saying they go away forever. The doubts from all spiritual teachers that I've ever learned from are always there, but they begin to fizzle down. Their noise gets a lot smaller. It's like, I honor you. Thank you for showing up. But I know I'm going this way. Thanks. See you. Bye. One of my teachers, she laughs at it. She's like, hey, that's a great joke. Haha, thanks. Okay, bye. See ya. So it really and truly is, it's a skill that you can develop. And this is an 8-week course I have condensed all of my experience and everything that I know about developing your intuition and truly connecting with your higher guidance into 8 weeks. And it's just going to simply be incredible. Like, I'm so excited for this sacred portal. Every single one of the trainings each week is live. I'm going to be live there with you. So anything that you're going through or that's showing up or any signs or synchronicity, I'm there. I'm there with you. I understand. Each week you get a workbook. So that way you have things to do throughout the week until the next call. Every single one of the trainings will be uploaded into different modules. So that way you can rewatch them later if you want. And you have group and community support with people that are literally going and like expanding in the same way. Like, it's so beautiful. And I'm so excited for this portal, this place that we're going to grow and transform. And the journey's never ending. Like, no matter how much you developed your intuition, like you are always going to be saying to that doubt. It's like the volume gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. It never goes away all the way, but you can attain the skills to turn it down. So that way I can head this way, live in my highest and best, most incredible eternal experience. And so if you're interested, if you want any details, feel free to click the link below in the show notes. I will have all the information for that course. It's going to be a beautiful portal. And this is a really so important skill for you to have. It affects the way you make decisions with everything, with your health and your body, with your kids, with your finances, with who you choose to bring into your life. And it literally touches your intuition, touches everything, because you are constantly making choices. And your intuition is your guidance for those choices. So I hope to see you in there. Feel free to contact me. I'm going to drop my social media links below if you have any questions. I'm really excited for this. I love you all. Either way, I hope that you gained something from this, to know that this is important. Regardless if you sign up for this course or not, it's important for you to develop this skill. So make it an intention. I love you. Thank you for your existence. Thank you for being and growing and expanding and taking the path of expanding consciousness. You are beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed that episode. Please subscribe, leave a review, and if this was impactful for you at all, please share it with others. This is how we can help each other. Much love and namaste.